number 20 could be a bit of a controversial one. You guys probably hate me for this one, but number 20 is actually Giant Death Ray. I can understand how people like this. So I'm not saying that this is a bad prop. I can understand why people like this. It's just not my kind of prop. My kinds of props are intimidating or creepy jump scares. And this isn't a. It might be intimidating, but it isn't a jump scare. And while that might seem a little bit weird and like, okay, well, why are you still ranking this at number 20? Like I said, it's just not my kind of prop. Besides, these are just my opinions, and like I said, I can understand why people like this animatronic. It's just not my cup of tea. But let's move right on to number 19 now. So here we are at number 19, and unsurprisingly, it's Bobby Strings. I wouldn't say that this animatronic is as bad as people are making it out to be. People have gone as far as to say this is the Johnny Punk of 2024. I actually kind of like this animatronic more than Johnny Punk, because you gotta keep two things in mind. First of all, nobody complained when the Child's Play movies were released, and while Chucky did have a deep voice, he was still creepy even with his high-pitched squeaky voice. And if you do really like, or if you don't really like that voice that much, you can always turn off the audio. Because I would actually say that would work better with this guy, no audio. Really, the only problem I can see with having no audio is that now you have a moving mouth that's supposed to be synced up to words that isn't. But I feel like that could be worked around, and it isn't that big of a deal, honestly. Because if you do put this on a haunted house without audio, nobody's going to stop and look and say, is this one supposed to be talking? Why doesn't it have audio? They're just going to look at this, see it moving and see its mouth moving and think, oh hell nah, and walk right past it. So, yeah, I wouldn't say it's that big of a deal, especially if you don't have the audio with this guy. But let me know what you think. Do you agree or disagree with my opinions on Bobby Strings here? Now, number 18 may surprise you. This is Max Straw. Now, what's even more surprising than the fact that I ranked him at number 18 is I actually might get this guy, although he is at number 18. Reasons being, I do feel like I could use him in a in a very in the very near future. So don't take this as it's a bad prop. He's actually grown on me a lot since I've seen the rankings. I would even go as far as to say he might not even be at number 18 anymore. I might actually rank him a little higher. It's just, like I said, this is very similar to my opinions on Giant Death Ray. I like big, scary jump scare props. And this prop is not a big, scary jump scare prop. So, while I do not really like him, I still might get him. Because I do need a background prop for a certain haunted house that I may be doing in the near future. And I feel like while this wouldn't be a good prop, I still feel like I could use it for the haunted house. But let's move on to the next animatronic. Number 17 is actually kind of surprising. This is Michael Myers. I've kind of seen mixed reviews on this one. Some people love it, some people hate it. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I'm kind of in that middle ground right now. I would say it's good if you love the Halloween movies and you want to collect everything. But me personally, I don't really like to buy licensed animatronics. So, and this is just a generic Michael Myers, not really a special licensed. I'll get to that special licensed animatronic in a little bit, but if you are a fan of the Halloween movies, I would definitely recommend this. Me personally, I just wouldn't want to get this one. It's super detailed, don't get me wrong. But like I said, I don't really collect licensed animatronic. So it wouldn't be one that I am really in the market for this year. Who knows? Maybe in a future year I could pick this one up. I could very well see that. But as of right now, this one is not on my to get list. But it isn't a bad animatronic either. Just one that me personally, I'm not really in the market for. Now we have number 16. Number 16 actually grew on me a lot since I first saw its video. This is the cremator. Now, the stock photo, if I just still saw the stock photo and stock videos, I would still probably put this like one of my least favorites. But after seeing it in person and watching a video of it, just hearing how clean its audio is, and just it looks super cool in person, better than the video can make it out to be. And like I was saying, the speaker quality is amazing on this one. So I'm actually super excited to see it tomorrow when the store opens because I feel like I will really like the animatronic. And it does remind me of an animatronic that had, like, an older Spirit Halloween animatronic. Like, one that would be released in between 2010 to 2012, yeah, around that time frame. So, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's what Spirit was going for, a prop that would remind people of 2010 to 2012. Because I love this animatronic. It's one that, like I said, grew on me. It still isn't one of my favorites, but one that, if I do get the chance, I won't pass this one up. Now, number 15 may shock you. This is Night Terror, the quote-unquote budget prop of this year. I would say it is a budget prop. I'm not trying to defend it not being a budget prop, but I feel like budget props like this work. Because while I wouldn't see anybody really wanting this in a haunted house, I do kind of agree. It does look a little bit like Sunstar, and that isn't really a scary animatronic to have in your haunted house. I could totally see me picking this up to use in just a graveyard or a pumpkin patch, or even in a display similar to Max Straw that I might be doing in the near future. A little bit of foreshadowing there. So, who knows? Like I said, I'm not even 100% sure what my list is this year because I'm just going to go in the flagship and whatever I see is kind of, I'm going to think about it for a second. And if I don't see anything that would be like, I would not, never get this guy, not in a million years, I would still pick it up. So if I see this in the stores, there is a very good chance that I will pick it up on Thursday. So, while it isn't an amazing animatronic, I would still say that it isn't as bad as people are making it out to be. Now we move on to number 14, which... this is kind of two animatronics in one. Okay, no way. I was actually about to talk about Victor and Emily when Spirit Halloween released their Victor and Emily. No joke. What a coincidence. They just released their video. But anyway, with that a coincidence aside, these are the Victor and Emily animatronics. I'm only going to be talking about Victor for this part, because they are technically two separate animatronics. You can connect them together via an auxiliary cord, but I'm going to count them as two separate animatronics. So, number 14 will be specifically on Victor. Really cool animatronic. I still have yet to rewatch The Corpse Bride, but I will definitely get on that before Halloween. I think I've watched once a while ago, but I don't really remember anything about it. I think I, paused the movie halfway and never really returned to it. And so I don't really remember anything about the movie. So I definitely will rewatch it. So I can't really comment what they would be like from the movie. I do know that these lines are from various parts throughout the movie. That's really all I know about movie stuff regarding these. But Victor's a cool one. Let's move on to the next one. Now, to go along with Victor, at number 13, we have Emily. I would say this is a little better than Victor. Like, if you were to say, I want to get the Victor and Emily animatronic, but I can only get one, I would say go for Emily, because she does feel a little bit more Halloween, and she does look a little better, in my opinion at least. So, that's why I ranked her at number 13. But I don't really have much to say on these two other than they're cool. Glad Spirit decided to do these two characters because I feel like after I see them in person and I watch the movie, I feel like these ones could grow on me a lot. So I am glad that Spirit did decide to do these characters. But anyway, let's move on to the next animatronic. Now, the next animatronic is another controversial one. A lot of people are saying that this is their favorite animatronic of the year. Some people are even going as far as to say that, well, this is their favorite. To me, I love it, but it isn't my favorite. I wouldn't say this would be a definite pickup for me, but not one that is on my definitely not to pick up list this year. It's one that, once again, if I see it in the stores, I'll go grab it, but not really my one that I'm specifically looking for when I go into the stores. I really do like that chest animation, or not chest animation, chest projection that he has. It reminds me of, if you've ever seen the Atmosphere Effects Phantasms, I believe it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But it reminds me a lot of that. I wouldn't be surprised if it is almost based on that. Because when I first saw this, that's what I immediately thought of. And when I saw the swirling projections, this guy grew on me. At first, he was one of my least... I wouldn't say it was one of my least favorites, but definitely not this high up on the list before. But that chest animation... Sorry, I don't know why I keep saying animation. Projection, I feel like I'm going to see it in the stores tomorrow. This guy is going to go right up there in my top 10. Maybe even top 5 if he gets lucky. But I can't wait to see this one in the stores. And I'm super excited to see this one in the stores, like I keep saying. And if he does grow on me like I am predicting he will, I'm super excited to also pick him up this year. But nothing is definite, so this isn't me definitely saying I'm picking him up. This is just me predicting that I will. But anyway, that's all I have to say on the Ringmaster. Let's move on to the next animatronic. So the next animatronic has grown on and off of me since its first release. This is Demonic Gatekeeper. As of right now, at the time of filming, he isn't on my list. I already know by the time of uploading, he's going to go right on the list. This guy won't stay in his place. He always either goes up or down on my list. Like, when I first saw him when the video was released, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this guy's amazing, I'm going to get him. But then I thought, it isn't anything too special. But even as I'm filming right now, he's starting to grow on me. This animatronic is weird. It's one that I kind of have... It really all depends on when you're asking me. You could ask me one time and I'm just like, it's an okay animatronic, nothing too special. And then you could ask me again in a few hours and I'm just like, when can we get him? Do you have him? I need him. You know, he's one that, like I said, I always... Whenever you ask me or whenever I think about him, I always have a different opinion on him. So I wouldn't be surprised if by the time this video is uploaded, I have a different opinion on him again. But we'll just have to wait and see. I still have yet to see him in the stores, which I have seen a few leaks, let's just say. I mean, they're pretty much unavoidable now, but I know some haunters get a little bit when it comes to that stuff. So I don't really like to talk about leaks, let alone leak stuff. But all I'm going to say is I have seen some leaks, and a little bit of a spoiler in case you don't want to know anything about leaks. as far as I know, he is an inbox only this year, unless I've missed a photo or something, because I've not seen an ISC photo unless I'm overlooking one that has him in the themes. But then again, like I said, I could just be overlooking the images, and we'll just have to wait and see, because there have been times where I went in the flagship and I have been genuinely surprised. So we'll just have to wait and see. Don't really, probably won't stay at number 11. He'll probably go down or up on my list when this video gets uploaded. But at least at the time of uploading, or at the time of filming, I should say, he is at number 11. Let's move on to the next animatronic. Now, number 10 is one I actually forgot to include in my Sneak Peeks Part 3 video. This is Towering Tallulah. I apologize for forgetting to include her in my Sneak Peeks Part 3. There was just a ton of new stuff released, and I didn't remember everything to talk about. But this is Towering Tallulah, the third, I guess you would call it, reskin of Mr. Dark. I feel like we're dealing with a sitting scare situation where we've had a sitting scarecrow, a sitting scare clown, and a sitting scare witch. I do think that if we are getting something similar to that, where we have 3 reskins, this should be the last reskin. Don't quote me on that, but I have a feeling this will be the last Mr. Dark reskin. Similar to the Sitting Scare line, we got like 1 each year, and I feel like that this could be the last time we see a not a Sitting Scare prop, a Mr. Dark reskin prop. But who knows, maybe next year we'll have like 5 of these things. But I doubt it. We'll just have to wait and see though, because Spirit Halloween has lots of surprises up at their sleeves. Sorry about this. I actually think that Spirit's already discussing 2025. Because they do start discussing that stuff in August, so I wouldn't be surprised if they start discussing their lineup for next year already. But the store isn't even open yet, so let's focus on this year. This one is an okay prop. It's one that I like because I like the Mr. Dark mechanism, but in terms of uniqueness, once again, a Mr. Dark reskin. So it isn't anything too special. We've seen this 3 times already, 2 other times, and this is the 3rd time we're seeing it, so once again, nothing too special. I don't know if I would get this one or not, because I do have pretty low ceilings in my house, so I don't know if I can fit this thing in my house, and I don't really want to only demo it outside, because we get rain a lot where I live, so every time I want to demo it, I don't want to have to wait because it's raining. So I want to actually be able to demo this inside, and currently our house has low ceilings, so not saying I'm definitely not going to get it, but the chances are very unlikely. But once again, not a bad animatronic, just one that I don't really think, similar to Michael Myers, I'm not really in the market for. But let's move on to the next animatronic. So now number 9 is actually the first animatronic we got when it came to Sneak Peeks this year. This is Art the Clown. I love this one. I don't really buy licensed props, and I still probably won't get this animatronic, because once again, I don't really buy licensed animatronics. But when it comes to licensed, if I did buy licensed animatronics, I would definitely get this animatronic, because it is a good one, and one that I can understand all the hype and people who love this animatronic, because it is a really good animatronic. It's just not one, once again, similar to Michael Myers and Towering Tallulah, one I'm not really in the market for. But that's all I really have to say on this animatronic during my rankings. Let's move on to the next one. Now, number 8 is one that I talked about a little bit during my Michael Myers section. If you remember, I said that there is a special animatronic or a special licensed animatronic this year, this is it. It's Ghostface. I don't buy licensed animatronics like I keep saying during this video, but I honestly feel like I could make an exception for this guy. Because I don't really like to buy licensed stuff. It isn't really my thing. I only have 2 licensed, and those are the Roaming Chucky and 2019 Pennywise. So, and the animatronics don't really work for a haunt unless you're doing a movie theater haunt, which, as of right now, isn't really something I want to do, but we'll just have to wait and see. But I feel like I could make an exception, because that stabbing motion is just... I would actually be a little worried about the durability with the prop, that violent stabbing motion. But we'll just have to wait and see, because I've been trying to avoid the videos as much as I can, just so I can be as surprised as I can get during the stores. But I have kind of watched a few videos. I just couldn't wait any longer. And from what I've seen a little clip of this guy's demo, and that violent animation is just as good in person as it is in the video, which I'm super glad about. Really, my only concern with this is with that violent stabbing motion, the durability, but I feel like I might just be overthinking that, and that this thing will probably be like the most durable prop, knowing how my predictions are. This will actually be the most durable prop this year. We'll just have to wait and see, because the stores haven't even opened yet, and as of right now, only a few people own this guy, so we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm super excited to see this one in the stores, and it is my favorite licensed prop of 2024. Now we move on to number 7. This is where the animatronics go from being mid to being ones that I love. And to start us off with the ones I love, we have Wanda Websworth. Like I said in my sneak peek video, this is very much like a Deadly Creeper 2.0, and I love it for that. I feel like I'm going to see this in the stores tomorrow, and fall in love with it, and I feel like if I see the box and I see this thing in person, I think I'm just going to actually like impulse buy this thing. It is amazing, and one that I feel like I'm not even giving it enough credit in my ranking video. It isn't anything groundbreaking, but it's classic Halloween done right. So, that's really all I have to say for this. Cool spider, let's move on to the next animatronic. Now, number 6 is Gravestone which, it's surprising that this is very high up on my list. I'm sure a lot of you are thinking right now. I'm a simple person. You don't need to give me super complex motion, animation, audio to impress me with these animatronics. Just give me a simple tombstone guy that has a violent animation, and good chance I'm going to pick it up, because I'm simple. I like these animatronics. And one that, now we start to get to the ones that are actually on my list. And if I see this one in the stores, I'm going to get it, because isn't anything groundbreaking, but I love it for that. Let's move on to the next animatronic. Alright, number 5, Barnaby the Bear. I'm actually shocked I've uttered that sentence. When I first saw this sneak peek, I wasn't too impressed by this animatronic. I was like, cool, but not really anything that I would want. Now I actually like it. This one just went up from being mid to being one of my favorites this year. I don't know what happened, don't ask me, but I actually really like this animatronic, and I'm super excited to see it in person tomorrow at Flagship. And maybe I'll even get it if it's in stock. But we'll just have to wait and see. So now we have Shirley Stab. This animatronic, unsurprisingly, is my 4th favorite. If you've watched the sneak peek video, you know I love this thing. The only reason it isn't higher on the list is because, like I said towards the beginning of the video, I like intimidating and or creepy jump scare props. This is creepy, but it's just one that stands there and has a slow stabbing animation. But I feel like it works for that. Because while big, scary jump scare props are my favorite type of props, those aren't all I buy. There are plenty of exceptions in my collection. And I feel like this could be the latest addiction, what? This could be the latest addiction to my collection. Sorry that you had to hear that. This could be the latest addition of that exception collection. What? Does that sound right? I don't know. Whatever. I like her. She's cool. She's nice. Good. Yep, nice. Good. Moving on. Come on, roll the next clip. Stop. Roll the next clip. Fine, I love you, Shirley Stab. Roll the next clip. Finally, now that Shirley Stab let me move on to the next animatronic, at number 3 we have Nibbles. This thing is cool. One that I'm super excited to see in the stores. Now we get to the best of the best. I was right the first time. I've seen once again maybe another leak of this thing in the stores, and it actually did have my first prediction for what that motion tracking could look like, which if you go and watch that video, you know. If you are watching this in the playlist, then you've probably, then you can just go and check that video out right now if you haven't already. But I talked about how I was thinking it was going to be like the busts from the Haunted Mansion, in which it would follow you as you walked past. Like, it would kind of gradually follow you. But then this video got released, and it looked like it kind of just... You walked past it, and then it would violently turn its head to face you. While I feel like that could make more people jump, I like the whole... It'll gradually follow you to make you do a double take kind of action instead. This is one that I'm definitely going to get this year, and one that I'm super excited to own, and I don't even own it yet. That's how much I know I'm going to get it. I'm already saying I own it. Wow. I don't even think it's available on the website. I'm the only one who owns this. I have it in my room right now. Don't put this in the video, just move on. Can I take one of these animatronics seriously? The past 2 ones I've ended on a very, very unprofessional note. I like doing these videos for that. I can just say whatever I want, but... Number 2 is Dark Princess. Surprising, I know. A lot of people have this as kind of their mid. I think I've seen like one other person who actually genuinely has this in their top 3. Which I can get. It's just another Dagger Mike reskin. We've seen it and plenty of times. But this is one that if you've been paying attention in the video, you know I'm gonna like. What did I say my type of prop was? Intimidating and or creepy jump scare props. And this is a intimidating, creepy, and a jump scare prop. It's all 3 in 1. So I'm definitely going to pick this one up this year. And I will actually go crazy if I see this on the stores. Like, if I see a box, of course I'm going to see it in the stores. But if I see a box in the stores, and I get a chance to get this, I might actually pass out in the store. That's how excited I'll be. So if you see me passed out in the store, just know that I saw a Dark Princess box, and I have Dark Princess. Just keep that in mind. But I love this animatronic, and one that, while once again I am a little worried about the durability, these animatronics are more durable than people think. I've had several animatronics, a few of which have broken, whether it be from me doing something stupid with them, or them just living their lifespan to the fullest until they eventually died. But I feel like this is one that everybody is going to be like, oh my gosh, it's so not durable, it's so bad, it's broken in every store. To put into perspective what I'm trying to talk about, I have Desmodus. Desmodus is known as one of, if not the most, or the least durable Spirit Halloween prop ever. And the first time me and my dad set that animatronic up, we actually set it up wrong, and it was clicking. I knew that was gonna happen. Like, I wasn't shocked when I heard that, because Desmodus is not durable at all. But after we figured out we set it up wrong and we did the correct steps, I've demoed that thing. I'm actually gonna knock on wood here. Sorry for that banging, I just had to knock on wood there, but I've had Desmodus for a while now, and he is so far doing well. And this is probably a story time that I know you're going to be begging me to tell in the comments. If you want to hear the story, I'll tell it at Flagship. So, if you see me at Flagship and you want to hear the full story, I'll tell it, but Desmodus straight up fell on me one time. I might make a whole separate video about that if I don't get a chance to tell it at Flagship. I probably will just make a video on it regardless, but Desmodus straight up fell on me one time, and he's still doing well. He's still alive and kicking right now, so I feel like that this animatronic... Alive and kicking, that made me sound so old, but this animatronic is one that, bottom line, feel like it'll be more durable than people will make it out to be. And if you're worried about buying animatronics, especially this one because you're worried about the durability, there's always a risk in buying these kinds of animatronics, even the ones that quote to be like the most durable, or every haunter is saying buy this one if you want a good durability prop, they could come out broken right out of the box. So I think when you buy these animatronics, specifically this one, you can't worry about what if I get it and it's broken. What if you get a very good durable animatronic and the factory that made it screwed up and it's broken? Or shipping screwed up and it's broken. One or the other. You never can tell 100%. Because you very well could order a animatronic that is known to be very durable, it come broken right out of the box, and then buy an animatronic that's known to be very not, like, one of the least durable spirit props ever. You get it, and you own it for like 10 years, and it's only beginning to go downhill 10 years after you buy it, and even that, it's like one piece of it broke off, and it's still fully functional, like a little piece. So you can't really judge these animatronics based on their durability when you buy them, because I would say as long as you are smart and you take good care of your animatronics, you should have no problem with them. But back to this animatronic specifically. I love it. Amazing. My kind of prop, so keep that in mind for future years. This is my kind of prop. So, Spirit, if you're watching this, keep making these kinds of props. Because I know for a fact, if I see this in the stores, I'm going to be speechless in a good way. And this animatronic will definitely be coming home with me. 100%. Like, even if I don't get it at Flagship, this is the only one I can say 100% I'm going to get. This is my kind of animatronic. But this video is getting a little long now. So let's move on to the last animatronic, and if you've been paying attention to the animatronics I haven't mentioned, or specifically the animatronic I haven't mentioned, and you've watched all my sneak peek videos to know which ones I like, this one, you already know which one this is. It's my boy, Cotton Candy Dan. This animatronic is simple, yet effective. Like I said in gravestone-ghoul, I like simple props, but this is intimidating, it's a jump scare, and it's simple. So, it should be obvious I'm gonna get this one. This one and Dark Princess are the two that, no question, I'm gonna get this year, and if I see them in the stores, my legs will probably stop working, because I will just fall in the middle of the floor and just smile. You need to see this one in this. I haven't even seen this one in person. You need to see this one in person. What's that? It's behind. It's you're watching this on your TV and it's behind you because you already own it. Well, go and look at it. If you have this animatronic, go and hug it right now. Because this one is amazing. Why am I being like this in this video? Why? No. Don't hug it too tightly. This is no. Don't put this in the video, Matthew, please. I am so sorry, guys. I love this animatronic. I can't even express it enough in words. So, go hug the animatronic, go demo it about 100 times, and just appreciate it. Just go and stand there for a while. Okay? I love this animatronic. This isn't Spirit Halloween. In all seriousness now, sorry. This is an amazing animatronic. This is an animatronic done right. So, Spirit, once again, if you're watching this, keep making animatronics like this, because this, like I know a lot of people are saying this year, this is an animatronic done right. But without further ado, this is almost a 40-minute video now. Let's move right into the outro.